What's up guys, Hownish here, and today I've got a bunch of Curse of Osiris things that I wanted to point out and round up, about some secrets and some new content. We also have a brief update from Bungie with some noteworthy things, which I'll touch on in a moment. I also wanted to give some thoughts on Curse of Osiris in general, which I'll do at the end of the video since so many people have asked me about it, so I'm sorry if this video ends up being a little bit long, but I will give those thoughts at the end. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is some interesting stuff on Mercury and the new social space. So there is actually a secret chest inside of the lighthouse, which is locked off behind this kind of Vex gate. Interestingly, it has the kind of world chest icon above it, so this will be one of the collectible chests for Mercury, but obviously there's some kind of secret behind actually unlocking it. And this is something they actually see inside of the GameSpot gameplay right here. Obviously we have no idea how you'll unlock this. It could be something really simple like collect all of the other chests on Mercury and then it'll unlock, or there could be a secret to it, hopefully rewarding something pretty cool. One interesting fact is that you do see this kind of beam of light traveling underneath the ground from the lighthouse towards the new area where the public event takes place. So this could hint to some kind of connection between activities in the world and them potentially unlocking or doing something in the social space. But GameSpot say that from their time roaming Mercury, there seems to be a trick to the powerful enemies. There were also tooltips saying the enemy depleted with lost treasure, as well as the barrier depleted, the Terminus Keeper retreats to the Infinite Forest, and it seems like you have to complete things in a certain order to unlock a secret. So Bungie have teased various secrets and things on the surface of Mercury, and hopefully, you know, it'll be pretty fleshed out and some interesting stuff to find. PC Gamer actually showed some footage of the new Lost Sector on Mercury, and this is called Pariah's Refuge. It's a pretty interesting space, kind of looks like, you know, a secret room or something where someone related to the cult of Osiris or Osiris himself would actually kind of hang out and relax or do research and things like that. Obviously now it's become occupied by Vex. It's a pretty interesting idea and it, you know, it looks cool. It looks like a normal Lost Sector really. PC Gamer did point out that this is indeed the only Lost Sector in the main space of Mercury though, which is interesting because obviously it's something that Bungie really pushed in the open world. Of course they will be including heroic adventures, which is an interesting concept and it has potential, but if there aren't any, you know, good reward system for them, then it's going to be kind of a waste of time in my opinion. But via GamerSec we actually get a brief look at the map for Mercury, and you can see it's really basic and small. There's the lighthouse in the very center, and there isn't actually a lot of stuff on the map. This could just be in this specific build because obviously, you know, it's not the full game. But if you notice on the side there is a milestone there with an Osiris icon, so that's some kind of milestone perhaps as part of the story, but hopefully it will be, you know, a new weekly milestone added to everything else. It's also worth pointing out that there is an Eververse milestone there as well. Some people speculated this could be for Clarion Call, but of course we've already seen the icon for that, which is actually different, so it looks like there will be potentially an additional way to earn some of the Eververse loot. But obviously we do have that confirmation that the strikes take place on the Infinite Forest, and Bungie actually tweeted an image of one of the strikes and it says contain a rampant army of Red Legion in an all new strike in the Infinite Forest. So obviously we see this Red Legion Cabal, looks a little bit different to kind of the general Cabal, so I'm pretty sure this is either one of the bosses or potentially one of the kind of major enemies inside of the strike. We also heard that some of these strikes will feature inside of the story section of the campaign for Curse of Osiris, so kind of similar to what we saw in Destiny 1 where, you know, you'd have to play through a strike as part of kind of a destination story or whatever. Of course strikes are cool and everything like that, but we really need some reasons to play them and some news about that stuff pretty soon. It's also worth pointing out, I mentioned a shotgun a few days ago which has Saint 14 kind of engraved on the side with the Saint's icon and then the number 14 in Roman numerals. We see a little bit more gameplay of that inside of the stream from a few days back. It actually looks like it's a full auto shotgun. In the hood it doesn't appear as an exotic, so it seems likely that this is a legendary weapon, which definitely raises the question, you know, what is the source for this weapon? Is this going to be another weapon set? It would seem bizarre to just have, you know, a shotgun with this icon thrown randomly into the loot table or something. So this could indicate another weapon set or a quest weapon of some sort. Obviously the tie to Saint 14 is pretty interesting, and perhaps we'll learn about what it is in one of the upcoming streams. Moving on, we had an early this week at Bungie yesterday, which was pretty light, and that's why I didn't cover it in a separate video, but they say next week we'll be back with another live stream with a parade of the gear you'll earn, including some details on new ways to earn it. So I think considering the response to the past couple of live streams, next week has the potential to be, you know, relatively exciting, seeing some of the new gear, including ways that we'll earn that gear. So I'm really hoping to hear some quality of life stuff in this next stream. I think it's very important that we hear, you know, know that they're actually doing some tuning stuff, making some adjustments, because we've seen the content now, and whatever we really think about it, it doesn't change the importance of those other quality of life changes. They did add to the list though that there are a few other things they're looking to fix very soon. And this includes faction rally tokens being removed when players create new characters, an issue where Callus sometimes becomes immune to damage during the final phase of an encounter, black screens while loading into the tower, some issues with bright engrams, and here's an important one, the Hunter Survivalist perk. The Survivalist perk on Legendary Hunter leg armor does not grant the intended recovery stats, so that's not actually working properly, and considering the issues that hunters have with, you know, recovery sets and everything like that, it's definitely going to be good to see this one fixed. They haven't given us a specific date, but they say it's on the radar. They do say though that in the coming weeks we will be issuing Destiny Update 1.1 and Hotfix 1.1.1 to address some of the known issues alongside the release of Curse of Osiris. So it sounds like these will be the kind of patches for the expansion which will bring any changes that are indeed happening. It's also worth noting that if you pick something up from the Bungie store this weekend, so from the 24th up till the 27th, you will get an exclusive emblem called Darkest Day, which has the kind of old school raid icon on it. And for any purchase of physical items, you will get the emblem code, a D2 tote bag, and a D2 sticker sheet while supplies last. So if there's anything you want to pick up from the Bungie store for Black Friday, then you can get these additional bits as well. So for my thoughts about Curse of Osiris so far, right, what I think we've seen, I think is okay. There are good additions to the game. It's nice that new content is being added. Personally, I'm excited to, you know, play and be on Mercury to see the new raid lair and to pick up the new gear in this expansion. But anytime I say that, you know, people get kind of agitated at me. They're like, why are you saying this DLC is good? And that's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm excited to play what is there. I am personally, however, disappointed with the lack of changes or quality of life improvements that we've seen so far. I am equally disappointed in, you know, seeing things like the most rewarding public event ever give 2 tokens, a system that, you know, people clearly have not enjoyed going into Destiny 2. The possibilities with weapon forging, you know, that could have had some randomized roles inside of there, which would have been really, really cool. We're not hearing about strike-specific loot or modifiers inside of this new heroic playlist. We don't have news about quality of life upgrades for PvP stuff. On top of this, we're now a couple of weeks away from this expansion, and if you look back at, you know, the communication that we were getting on top of live reveals in the form of this week at Bungie, you know, and the patch notes and things like that, before the Dark Below, we could see changes and they were having a conversation about things in the game. Before House of Wolves, we had the same thing. And then again for the Taken King, we were getting really good in-depth demonstrations of what was going to change in the game in these DLCs and updates. And of course, we don't know what Bungie are holding back for that final live stream yet. I don't want to jump to any conclusions about that, but I think the general course of conversation and information from Bungie about what's happening in this expansion and about what the plans are for the future is quite different now from what it was a couple of years ago. And I think outside of the issues themselves, that definitely changes the perception to the audience, you know, because it doesn't feel like there is a conversation. And my biggest issue with it is that right now it kind of sends a message to people that either Bungie don't really understand what it is that players want, or they just don't have the answers to those questions, and it feels very much like a smile and nod kind of situation, you know what I mean? But in terms of what I can do about it, you know, I've had these conversations, guys. I've made videos talking about the improvements I think we should see to the game. We need better communication right now from Bungie, in my opinion, but I can't really do anything about it. Am I still excited to have new reasons to play Destiny? Yes, I am, completely. Inside of the vacuum of what this expansion is, I'm excited to go and play it, but please don't assume that because that's the case that, you know, I'm blind to the issues in the game, because I am absolutely not, and I'm absolutely not afraid to say what those issues are. And that's also one of the problems for me as a content creator, you know, because I still want to deliver the news to people, I still want to deliver good things to the community on this YouTube channel. I'm rooting for all of the things that you guys are rooting for, believe me. I will do everything I can to influence that, but at the end of the day, those words have to come out of Bungie's mouth, you know? So that's where I am, guys. I'm interested to see what the future of Destiny holds. I'm still hopeful that there will be a number of improvements to this game soon. For now, I can be patient for a little bit longer, but I appreciate if you guys cannot, you know, that is completely up to you, and I understand it 100%. We do have one more stream to go, and I guess this is really going to give us the indicator of any other changes and the conversation regarding quality of life. And that's really all I can say on the matter, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have enjoyed the video though, a like is appreciated. It really helps me out on the channel. If you're new around here and you want to see up-to-date Destiny 2 content going forward, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. But for now, you guys have an awesome day.